Square root addition or subtraction with 3 terms. I need to take each term and simplify the radical first. So I've got the square root of 20, the square root of 80, and the square root of 5. Okay, to simplify a square root, you take the number bigger. You have your list of squares over here, and you want to work from the bottom to the top of the list and start dividing. You need a number to start with smaller than 20, so 16. You can't do 20 divided by 16. That doesn't work. You cannot do 20 divided by 9. That does not work. 20 divided by 4 does work. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So the answer that you get after you divide goes under the radical, and since you divided by 4, the number out front, the 2, stays out front. So that one simplifies to be 2 square roots of 5. The square root of 80, you got to use this number smaller than 80. 16. 80 divided by 16 is 5. And since you use 16, you put the 4 out front. And then this one is just the square root of 5. Now after you get the square root simplified, you look at the original problem and see if any of them had anything extra in the front. So the first one didn't have anything out front. The 80, that had a 3 out front, so you've got to put it out front here. And the square root of 5 had a negative 19 out front. So I have 2 square roots of 5, a positive 12 square roots of 5, and a negative 19 square root of 5. Okay, so now you just total up your square root of 5. So 2 plus 12 is 17. Take away 19 is negative 2. So the answer to this problem is negative 2 square root 5. Okay, the next one, I have a square root of 2. I have a square root of 50 and a square root of 32. So square root of 2 cannot be simplified, so just bring it down. We can't do anything with it. Square root of 50, 50 divided by 25, that equals 2. So that goes under the radical, and since I divided by 25, the number out front, the 5, stays out front. And then 32, 32 divided by 16 is 2. So the answer that you get goes underneath. Since I divided by 16, the number out front, the 4, stays out front. Now you check over here to see if you had anything in front of those. The first one had a 12 in front. The second one had a negative 5 in front. And the third one didn't have anything in front of it. So we've got 12 square root of 2. Negative 5 times 5, that's negative 25 square root of 2. And then a positive 4 square root of 2. So now you just add up your square root of 2, total them up. So 12 take away 25 is a negative 13, and a negative 13 and a positive 4 is a negative 9. So negative 9 square root 2 is your answer. So on the next one, we have a square root of 5, a square root of 45, and a square root of 20. So 5 can't be simplified, you just write it down. 45, we can do 45 divided by 9. That equals 5. So whatever you get goes under the radical. Since you divided by 9, whatever's out front, the 3, stays out front. 20, we can do 20 divided by 4. That equals 5. So whatever you get after you divide goes under the radical, and we divided by 4, so what's out front? The 2 stays out front. Now check into the original problem and see if they had anything in front of them. The first one had a 5. The second one had a negative 4. And the third one didn't have anything. So we have 5 square root of 5, negative 4 times 3, a negative 12 square root of 5, plus 2 square root of 5, Okay, so you total up your square root of 5, and you have 5 and a negative 12 is a negative 7, and a positive 2 is a negative 5. And the next one, we have square root of 45, square root of 5, and square root of 20. So I think I already did some of these previously. Square root of 45 we said was 3 square root of 5. The square root of 5 does not simplify, and we already did the square root of 20 as well. It's 2 square root of 5. Check the front of the original. The first one had a 4. The second one had a 2. The third one had a negative sign, so that's like a negative 1. So we've got 12 square root of 5, a positive 2 square root of 5, and a negative 2 square root of 5. So the total square root of 5, 12 plus 2 is 14, take away 2 is 12. It's 12 square root of 5. So as you can see, if you've written down your previous work, you can, once you get a radical simplified, you could just use it. 80, 5, and 20. So I think at the very beginning we did an 80. Yeah, 80 was 4 square root of 5. And then this square root of 5 doesn't simplify. And 20 was 2 square root of 5. Check the front. The first one had a 5 in front of it. The second one had a 6 in front of it. And the third one had a negative in front of it. So we've got 20 square root of 5, a positive 6 square root of 5, and a negative 2 square root of 5. So totaling up your square root of 5s, 20 plus 6 is 26, take away 2 is 24. 24 square root of 5.